This is the QTV Nightly News and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Senegal and the Gambia, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, are set to launch a campaign to distribute more than 1.56 million long-lasting insecticidal nets in a joint effort to combat malaria in both countries. Now, the Bishop of the Diocese of Banjul, the Most Reverend Bishop Gabriel Mendy, Saturday presided over the ordination of 5 priests at an event held at the St. Teresa School in Westville. Now, over 1,500 students graduated from Gambia College in Bilkama on Saturday, marking the final ceremony before the institution transitions into the University of Education, the Gambia. And the Nursing Students Association of the University of the Gambia has joined the global nursing community in commemorating Nurses Week, which concludes today. SOS Children's Village, the Gambia, joined the global celebration of Mother's Day with a special event honoring the mothers and aunts who provides care and support to children within the SOS community. These and other stories coming ahead, do stay with us. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News and I am Jul Denjai. Now, Senegal and the Gambia, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, are set to launch a campaign to distribute more than 1.56 million long-lasting insecticidal nets in a joint effort to combat malaria in both countries. The initiative aims to ensure every household receives at least one net. Fatu Gay spoke with the WHO country representative, and this is her report.
Malaria continues to be a major health challenge in the Gambia, particularly impacting children under 5 and pregnant women. The widespread distribution of long-lasting insecticidal nets by the WHO has been a key strategy in reducing malaria transmission. Dr. Nathan Bachiaita, the WHO country representative, gave the details of the upcoming campaign.
What makes this different is that one is that it's a universal coverage. We've estimated when we are calculating how many nets to distribute, it is one net between 2 people. So for example, the population of the Gambia is approximately 2.5 million, and 1.56 million nets have been prepared that will be distributed to every household. So what is going to happen is that every household will register its number of members, and then the team would calculate how many nets are needed, and then they will give vouchers to every household. So on the day of distribution, you take your vouchers and liberate the number of nets that are for that family.
Malaria is primarily transmitted through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. These nets not only act as a physical barrier against mosquitoes, but also release insecticides that kill mosquitoes on contact, thereby enhancing their effectiveness in preventing malaria. Dr. Nathan Bachiaita further elaborates.
Mosquito nets are very important in the prevention of malaria in that this is a tool that is under your control. You get it? So you know that there is malaria, so it is a tool it's under control or control of the families, and you apply it every day. So they are one of the most effective tools that we have.
This campaign is a continuation of the Gambia's commitment to malaria elimination, building on previous successful initiatives. Notably, in 2022, a joint campaign with Senegal distributed over 1.16 million treated nets in both countries, achieving 90% of the projected need. The synchronized efforts between neighboring nations highlights the importance of cross-border collaboration in tackling malaria. The WHO country representative emphasized the crucial role of cross-border collaboration in combating malaria.
The beauty about this campaign is that we are launching at the same time with our colleagues from Senegal, because as you know, the Gambia, most of it is surrounded by Senegal. So by doing a launch together with Senegal means that we'll protect our people at the same time.
Through strategic planning, international collaboration, and community engagement, the initiative aims to protect vulnerable populations and move closer to the goal of malaria eradication. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatigay.
Now, the Bishop of the Diocese of Banjul, the Most Reverend Bishop Gabriel Mendy, Saturday presided over the ordination of 5 priests at an event held at St. Teresa's School at Westfield. Here is Ansumana Isonyasi.
This historic and deeply spiritual ceremony reflects the remarkable growth of the Catholic Church. It is the first time in over 3 decades 5 priests were ordained by the Catholic Church in the Gambia. Christians from across the country gathered at the St. Teresa's School at Westfield to celebrate this historic moment. The Most Reverend Gabriel Mendy, Bishop of the Diocese of Banjul, delivered a sermon calling on the congregation to renew their commitment to Christ and to uphold peace and tolerance in their daily lives. And as he congratulates the newly ordained priests, Bishop Mendy in his sermon said their ordination is a moment of pride and serves as a manifestation of the church growth.
The number of souls to be saved will always outnumber the laborers in the Lord's vineyard. And so there is always the need for us, as Jesus advised us, to pray for vocations in the church, especially for us in our diocese. As more people are ordained, the needs arise. Others are also aging and getting close to retirement. There will be need to send people for other ministries.
Bishop Mendy also used the occasion to call on local communities and members of various ministries they will be serving to offer support and join the newly ordained priest in prayer.
So one's obedience and availability is what enables us to fulfill our ministry. So if you are not totally obedient and available for the mission for which you were ordained, and you become a man or person of your own, you would equally disregard the other vows and promises of your priestly vocation.
In what is perhaps the main highlight of this highly spiritual event, all 5 candidates, Reverends Michael Ruben Gabidon, Felix Boasi, Joseph Kagbo, Soti Jata, and Paul Danko, laid prostrate before the altar, a sign of humility and surrender before rising to be vested with priestly garments and anointed with holy oil by the bishop, a spiritual yet symbolic gesture formally confirming their priesthood. Addressing parishioners on behalf of the newly ordained priest, Reverend Michael Ruben Gabidon expressed gratitude, reiterating their unwavering commitment to the church and humanity.
We thank you sincerely, not for being our friends, but for being our formators. The responsibility entrusted to you by the church is a weighty one, and yet you bore it with humility and seriousness. We thank you for shaping us, for the challenges, the pressure, and the tough decisions you made, some of which we resisted at the time, but now recognize that they were essential for our purification and preparation.
Saturday's event represents a historic moment signifying growth and unity within the Christian community and a testament to the relentless commitment of parishioners to Christ and to humanity. Ansumane Nyasi for QTV News.
Over 1,500 students have graduated from the Gambia College in Birkama on Saturday. The ceremony marks the final graduation before the college transitions into the newly established University of Education, the Gambia, UEG. Usman Jata was there, and this is his report.
This graduation holds special significance as it marks the final ceremony under the name Gambia College. The institution's transition to the University of Education, the Gambia UEG, is part of the government's broader strategy to strengthen and expand the higher education sector. Graduates, families, faculty and dignitaries gathered for the momentous occasion, which began with a solemn moment of silence in honor of departed students and staff. Dr. Abubakar Jallo is the principal of the Gambia College.
As we transform into a university, we will continue to seek for support for the improvement of teaching and learning resources, especially in laboratory equipment and material. When a nation neglects its children, that nation has forfeited its future. And neglecting its children means neglecting the teachers that would be going to mold those children.
For decades, the Gambia College has played a crucial role in building mid-level professional capacity in education, health and agriculture. Aliu Badara Senghor, chairman of the Gambia College Governing Council, reflected on the institution's legacy and expressed confidence in its future as a university.
Transition of a college into a university is a significant milestone that marks a period of growth and expansion in both academic offerings and organizational capabilities.
On behalf of the Minister of Higher Education, Abibatu Drame, Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, reiterated the government's dedication to empowering citizens through education. She encouraged graduates to lead with integrity.
We urge you to be ambassadors of change for Gambia College and for the Gambia generally. Uphold the values of justice, inclusion, and sustainability.
Guest speaker Mamadou Salah challenged the graduates to be agents of change in their communities and the wider world.
When the system doesn't work, don't adapt. Transform it. Be the nurse who advocates for fair treatment of rural mothers. Be the agriculturalist who rejects dependence and builds resilience.
Among the highlights of the ceremony was the presentation of awards to outstanding graduates. Edward Saku from the School of Education and Mariama Erofolanin from the School of Public Health received special recognition for achieving the highest cumulative GPA.
I am very much honored to be awarded as the best student. This is dedicated to my colleagues, my school, School of Public Health, and the entire Gambia College.
Very, very, very happy and as well grateful to my tutors that made this very possible. And of course, my peers and as well all those that supported me.
As the Gambia College Choir entertained the crowd, graduates reflected on their journey, one that aligns with the college's motto, enter to learn, ready to serve. Osman Jata, reporting for QTV News.
The report there by Usman Chata will take us to a short commercial break. When we return, details on the mutual agreement between China and the United States to roll back on tariffs on each other's goods for an initial 9-day period, plus other stories. Do stay with us.
now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Now to the rest of our stories. The Nursing Students Association of the University of the Gambia joins the global nursing community in commemorating Nurses Week under the theme, One Nurse, Our Nurses, Our Future, the Power of Nurses. The event was held at the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. Aissatou Bari was there, and this is her report.
The Nursing Students Association of the University of the Gambia commemorated Nurses Week with a series of engaging activities, including debates and the recognition and awarding of outstanding nurses and students. International Nurses Week is celebrated annually from May 6th to 12th, culminating on the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. In the Gambia, this year's celebration reflected not only a growing passion for nursing among the youth, but also a renewed national focus on improving healthcare outcomes through education and service. Dr. Abubakar Jah, the Chief Medical Director of Sarab Hospital, highlighted on some of the important roles of nurses.
Nurses are experts in vital signs, symptoms management, and patient responses. They see patient responses more than anybody else. They can detect subtle changes in the patient that other healthcare professionals may not be able to detect. And therefore, good doctors actually usually listen to the nurses' advice and often ask for advice. I often ask my nurses for advice. What do you think we should do? How do you think this patient is doing, so that we can do a better job for the patient?
Abdullah Drame, a midwife, explained why he chose midwifery as a career.
When I was working at Brikama District Hospital, where I was a registered nurse, I used to see how midwives at the level was, how they suffered, how they struggled. And also when I was also taking the Kalaji Health Center as the officer in charge, even though I was not a midwife, but like there is only one trained midwife in the whole district. So this has motivated me to take also a challenge so that I can also contribute my quota towards nation development.
Here are Babukar Jallo, current president, and Ibrahim Abaji, former president of the Nursing Students Association of the University of the Gambia.
This week we are also celebrating the NSA Day. NSA as an association has been in existence for about 10 years. So this one is the decade-long existence of NSA. So we celebrate the achievements of NSA.
So what we usually do annually is we invite nurses in a form of, giving appreciation to them from the nurses of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and then certify some of the outstanding nurses that were very helpful to the students. And also within the association, we also organize a debate competition in which we share ideas about the health sector.
David Jinio Day, a senior nurse and auditor general at the National Association of Gambia Nurses and Midwives, highlights on the challenges nurses face on a daily basis.
Also acknowledge the challenges nurses face: long hours, emotional fatigues, underfunded facility, and at times a lack of recognition. The pandemic revealed those heroes of nurses and the fatigue of system they support. It taught us that applause alone is not enough. It is time for sustainable changes. We must advocate for better pay, safe working environment, mental health resource, and leadership opportunity for nurses.
With renewed inspiration and a deeper sense of duty, these future nurses stand ready to carry forward the legacy of care, compassion, and commitment. Aissatou Bari, QTV News.
apply. The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before. With our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan, get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
We apologize for that technical error. Now, SOS Children's Village, The Gambia, joined the global celebration of Mother's Day with a special event dedicated to honoring mothers and aunts who provide care, love, and stability to children within the SOS community. The celebration highlighted their vital role in nurturing and shaping the lives of children in need. Loli M. Kamara has the story.
The Nursing Students Association of the University of the Gambia commemorated Nurses Week with a series of engaging activities, including debates and the recognition and awarding of outstanding nurses and students. International Nurses Week is celebrated annually from May 6 to 12.
Mother's Day is commemorated on different dates around the world, in most countries including the Gambia. It is celebrated on the second Sunday of May each year. The ceremony brought together staff, children, and stakeholders to recognize the unwavering dedication and love these mothers and aunties provided. These caregivers were highly praised for their selfless service, for not only providing shelter and food, but also emotional support, guidance, and a sense of family to children growing up in SOS villages. Jean-Pierre Kwame, the National Director of the SOS, praised the invaluable contributions of the mothers and aunts, noting that they are the heart of the organization.
We are here today to really celebrate you for the incredible work you are doing for the organization. You are taking care of children that are not necessarily from your family, but as we call our program, it's family-like care. We make sure that we create a family setup for children and young people. We are grateful for the work you're doing. We need to celebrate you, as Teneng said, every single day, but we need to also allocate a special time to recognize the work you're doing.
SOS Children's Villages has been active in the Gambia since 1982, focusing on supporting children and young people without parental care or at risk of losing it. Their mission is to ensure that every child grows up with the care, protection, and relationships they need to become their strongest selves. Although the guest speaker, Olimata Tal of Woman Boss, was unable to attend the event, her statement on the theme, Empowering Women in Community and Career, Balancing Motherhood and Professional Growth, was delivered by Teneng, Communication and Advocacy Coordinator at SOS Children's Villages, The Gambia. SOS Children's Villages, The Gambia provides a loving home for up to 120 children, offering them stability, care, and a nurturing environment. Among the dedicated caregivers is Aissatou Jallow Sarr, who has served as an SOS mother for the past 13 years.
This
is a proud moment for us, and I am truly honored to be part of the group of mothers being celebrated today. I must thank Allah for bringing me to this wonderful place. I have no regrets at all. When I first arrived, I was entrusted with these children and told what was expected of me. I embraced that responsibility, caring for them as if they were my own. The celebrations featured engaging panel discussions, a vibrant dance performance by SOS students, and the presentation of tokens of appreciation to the dedicated mothers and aunts. As the event came to a close, it serves as a reminder of the strength, dedication, and compassion of the women who serve as the backbone of the SOS Children's Village. Their unwavering commitment continues to inspire hope and build brighter futures for the children they lovingly call their own. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Up next is international news. China and the United States issued a joint statement on Monday following their economic and trade meeting in Geneva, announcing a mutual agreement to roll back tariffs on each other's goods for an initial 90-day period. Here is a report by CGTN.
Yesterday evening here in Geneva also we heard from the Chinese lead and Vice Premier He Lifeng. He talked last night about how we were going to hear the details today. We've heard lots of positive statements, how there were positive talks, mutually respectful talks, how the atmosphere was very candid, and we were waiting for the details today. He Lifeng said that last night we were going to get some good news, and that's been the case. We've heard of reductions of 115% on the tariffs, effectively down to 30%, in some cases 10% for 90 days. As you mentioned, that's been stipulated in the joint statement from the both sides. Now, we heard also from He Lifeng that these discussions are going to continue over the next 90 days. Potentially they will alternate between China and the United States or in a third party country like they held them here in Switzerland, neutral territory. He Lifeng will continue to be the lead person in those negotiations, in those discussions for China. And on the American side, that will continue to be U.S. Trade Secretary Scott Bessent. So we heard a lot from them today. They took questions from reporters. We heard a very interesting question from Jameson Greer. He talked about how a relationship was built over a couple of days that would usually take a few months or even years. So very positive news coming out of here. We've heard how channels are open. A mechanism has been created to avoid unfortunate escalations like the one we've already seen. There was a very interesting question at the press conference. The question was, why didn't the United States start at this point? Why didn't we start from these discussions and negotiations rather than causing the kind of global turmoil that's been caused?
This is all we have for you in this edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another News Bulletin. Thank you for watching.